Huge shout out goes out to our current channel members. If you're interested in gaining a channel membership, then feel free to head over to my channel profile and click the join button. Also, we do have a Ninjago Discord server. It's a great way to communicate with myself and many others. For more details on that, click the very first link at the very top of the description of this video. So hello there everybody, and welcome back on in here today to the channel for a new video. And today's video is going to be another kind of theory, but at the same time I don't even like calling this a theory as such. Instead, I prefer the label prediction, because today we are going to be talking about all things Ninjago Dragons Rising, but with a bit of a twist. Because we are going to be talking about the very next episode that is set for release with the Dragons Rising installment sometime this autumn. Presumably, at least in the September to October kind of release window time frame. That is the word on the street in the Ninjago community at the moment. Most people are under the impression that it will, again, be releasing sometime in September/October. Around that time at least, maybe even in both, you know, towards the end of September, streaming straight into October. Again, though, that doesn't really matter, but you guys get to the point, right? So today I would like to just lay out kind of the groundworks today, if you want to even call it that, for, again, a prediction all relating to episode 11. And this, I think and I hope I've completely nailed it with this entire video, to say the least, as we are going to be talking about some sort of flashback that's going to be happening. And while you guys may already be kind of bored of this whole subject, do just hear me out on this one, because this flashback that I'm predicting is going to be happening, basically like in the very next scene we see of Dragons Rising, well, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is all relating to Empress Beatrix. Now hear me out, because I'm not going off literal nothing, and while there, again, isn't really all that much proof to truly back this up, which is why I'm not really calling it a theory in the first place, again, it's more of a prediction on my end, but I believe this because of the fact that, well, just think about the very last scene of episode 10 of Ninjago Dragons Rising. The scene in which Beatrix, well, she imprisoned Lord Raz. She just essentially said about how angry she was with him, essentially. She was not happy with Raz's actions at all. He was not serving her well enough, and he was just kind of not doing his job properly, for lack of a better phrase there. He just was not up to her standards, and so she went ahead and imprisoned him. And then towards the end, I forget exactly what she said, but she said something along the lines of, "It's time to enter the battlefield personally." Again, paraphrasing there, it was slightly different, I know, but it was something very similar to that. And she essentially came out of the ground on this huge, badass looking mech, and was again doing exactly that, it would seem, preparing to go onto the battlefield, which was happening just outside her castle abode type place. And to be honest with you, things were definitely looking pretty tense, to say the least. Now, where does this whole flashback prediction come into play here? Well, I bring this up because of the fact that we do not know much officially in the universe about Empress Beatrix, but with that being said, if we take a look at some more quote-unquote unofficial leaks that have been happening, well, they reveal a lot more about Beatrix and what she's all about. I'm not going to get too deep into that here, because I know not all of you are clicking on today's video expecting to hear about a ton of official spoilers that will be happening, but let me just say that there is some sort of family-related stuff going on, I will say that. I do have videos on this on my channel, so feel free to go and check those out if you're interested in learning more about this entire topic. But again, there are some more family background type issues that relate to how she actually became the Empress of Imperium in the first place. And I think it's just about time that in-universe we learn more about this, because again, she is the main villain for Season 1 of Dragons Rising, so it's only right we learn more about her actual motivations, more of her background, how she became this just cruel, evil person, how she got to be the Empress in the first place. You know, there's so much to potentially explore with her character, just in general, overall, and I think that episode 11 will probably be the first and best place to learn more about her, because again, we haven't learned anything about her family-related history just yet, like we have done with some of the leaks that have already been releasing. I think there is just endless potential for something along those lines to happen, and I think that it's definitely going to be happening sooner rather than later, or at least I hope it will be, because I'd hate to have another Unagami situation where they leave things too late. But at the same time, legitimately, I couldn't be more honest with you when I say this, I have just so much endless hope within this season, because I literally just love it so much, so I have no doubt that the writers will most likely start revealing more about Beatrix as soon as possible, like, again, in episode 11, as I'm theorising on here, and I think this is probably going to be the best way to go about it, at least from my own standpoint. That's what I personally believe anyway. I just think that a flashback showcasing some of her you know, some of her life and how she became the Empress. I think that that whole idea would be absolutely perfect, and I'm more than down to see an episode like that in episode 11. Think about how the Sora episode played out with an entire flashback with regards to her. I think the same kind of thing, but just apply it to Beatrix, and yeah, you've got a really fantastic episode there, just as it is, just with the groundworks being laid out in this way. I think it can be absolutely perfect, and I would love to see something like this happen. But with all of this being said, I was basically just about going to sum it up for all of my thoughts in today's video, so hopefully you guys did all enjoy it. But now that I'm done talking, I turn it over to all of you now. Please feel free to leave any of your own thoughts on all of this down below in the comments. I would absolutely love to hear your own thoughts regarding this. As usual though, if you did enjoy today's video, please do leave a like on it, subscribe to the Overlord X channel for more, and hit the notification bell so that you behind the screen there, yes you there, I'm looking right at you, can keep up to date on all things Ninjago right here on the channel. And with all of this being said, I will catch you all very soon for a new one. Well, goodbye everybody. See you all very soon.